Chapter 1.
Number 1. Who has been your favorite teacher so far in your life? Please explain the reason why and support your reason.
Possible response. My favorite teacher was math teacher I met when I was in junior high. Her name was Mrs. Calloway. She has changed the way that I think about mathematics. I used to despise math, and it used to be my weakest subject. I just couldn't figure out how all those numbers would take a role in my life, and after all, they weren't anything important to me personally. Before I met this teacher, Mrs. Calloway, in junior high, I never realized how much teachers cared, nor did I ever take the time to thank them. Through her, I was able to acquire a love for math. I always respected my teachers, but I was never really aware of the amount of work a teacher puts into their job. Also, she was never afraid to be funny or to be herself in front of a class, and students appreciated that. I liked her a lot, not only because she was a good teacher, but because she reflected her personality in her teaching.
Number 2. Tell me about your favorite place when you were a child.
Possible response. I remember my grandma's house. It was in Mungyong in South Korea. The big swing on the hilltop right behind my grandma's house was my favorite hangout whenever I went to see my grandparents. I was born there and lived there until I was 9. Then I moved to the States. All of my family members are now here with me in Korea, and we sometimes talk about the place. We lived with my grandparents before we went to the United States. Mungyong is a beautiful and fun place in many ways. I still remember my school. It was a small school with only about 150 students altogether at that time. I still miss my friends very much. My friends and I used to go to our teacher's house on weekends and ask her to make us some cookies. Then our teacher made cookies for us. They were the best cookies I have ever tasted. Mungyong is still my hometown in my heart and favorite place that I still remember.
Number 3. What would you like to buy at the department store to surprise your friend on his or her birthday?
Possible response. My friend's birthday is right next week, and I was wondering what to buy for her. I went to a mall downtown yesterday afternoon, and I found a good present for her at the music store there. It was the best of Stings from the 70s and 80s. My friend loves his music very much, and a few years ago we went to a Sting concert in Seoul, Korea. Even worked part-time to buy a ticket to his concert. And you know what? A few years ago, we happened to go backpacking to Europe, and every time we were passing by a music store, she went inside and checked to see if they had any of Sting's new CDs or tapes. This CD collection is specially released in Korea, and it is limited in its sales volume, so it will be very special for her to keep one. I'm sure if I buy the CD collection for her, she will be very happy and will be appreciated.
Number 4. What is your favorite season of the year?
Possible response. My favorite season is fall. The springtime often aggravates my allergies. The winter can be brutal, especially Korean winter, which is very dry and crisp. It is freezing cold with lots of snow sometimes, and the summer is very hot, so it has to be fall. It is the prelude to the holiday season. The air is always much fresher and cleaner. People seem to be friendlier, and I love to take walks and meet them, even if it is just a nodding smile in passing. The early morning hours seem to belong to me, and the sunsets seem to be prettier. The evenings turn brisk and provide an excuse to go indoors and do something peaceful. It is cool enough to light a fire, not the heating, open the window, or light candles. I hope I have convinced you.
Number 5. Many people use their computers in their office and at home. Tell me about your experience with your computer.
Possible response. My computer is the most valuable asset to my work and job. I couldn't imagine doing anything without it. I got my first computer when I was in junior high, and it was IBM Personal Computer. Everyone at school envied me a lot since not many students had their own computer at that time. Most of my friends spent their time with me after school, doing homework together using my computer at my house. My second computer was the one that I had in college. My parents bought it for me as a gift. I used it to write my paper neatly and it helped me save a lot of time. The third one was Windows 98 when I got my first job in Korea. Now I spend at least an hour a day using the internet. It is so helpful and useful for the work I do.
Number 6. One of your friends living in another country is planning to visit your country for 2 weeks on his or her vacation. Which place would you recommend your friend to stay at for 2 weeks, and what would you recommend him or her to do there?
Possible response. I have a very close friend in America, and if she can come and visit me on her vacation, I would definitely like to take her to some of my favorite places in downtown Seoul. Seoul has many attractions to visit, and among them, I would like to introduce Insadong to my friend. If she goes there, she will experience traditional Korean stuff, such as handmade fans, Korean paper and brushes, and even Korean traditional costume called hanbok. It will be fun and exciting. She can try some traditional Korean food, drink, and teas. In particular, she can eat the Korean herb ginseng. It is widely known for its special smell and taste. She will also have time to understand Korean culture and art visiting some galleries in Insadong. I can't wait until she comes.
Number 7. Why do you think people attend college? What are the benefits of a university education?
Possible response. We attend college for various reasons. Some people consider college as a challenge and others take it as a new experience. In my opinion, I think we attend college to increase knowledge, meet new people with different experience and backgrounds, and develop a career. A college can benefit a person greatly since we live in an information society. It is becoming even more important to attend a university and learn the valuable skills taught there, while there are still many people who think that we don't need a college education.
Number 8. Tell me about your country's favorite traditional foods.
Possible response. I am from South Korea, and many of the traditional foods in Korea are made from fresh vegetables and various kinds of meat. We also have so many different types of recipes for making kimchi. Koreans typically eat rice and vegetables every day with some sort of soup. My favorite kinds are kimchi and duck. It is already well known to many Asian countries and other nations and neighboring countries try to make similar types of kimchi, so it is no surprise to see kimchi when you visit Japan or America. Duck, which I eat for my breakfast, can be a good choice, especially when I don't have enough time for meals. I think Korean traditional food is much healthier than Western food such as hamburgers or hot dogs. In addition, Koreans often mix red pepper into their foods. This gives Korean traditional food a hot and spicy taste. If you want something deliciously hot and spicy, then try Korean restaurants.
Number 9. Tell me about some of the things you usually do at school.
Possible response. I go to college in Seoul and I attend school every day. The most common thing that I do as soon as I get to school is to go to school cafe and to have 1 glass of carrot juice. Then I go to the yoga class. I love yoga so much that I have taken it for about a year now. I really enjoy it. Then I go to my regular classes. I sometimes feel stressed from many researches and papers, but I enjoy handling all of the schoolwork at the same time. After I finish my classes for the day, I feel a little tired and I love to meet my school friends at the school cafeteria for lunch. After I talk to them and eat, I feel refreshed. Then I go to the school library. I definitely enjoy my study and student life, and that's what I usually do at school.
Number 10. People have their role models in their lives. Who do you admire the most?
Possible response. I can tell you the people who were important in my life. My parents, who I respect greatly, my teachers who taught me over the years, and my precious friends who shared so many experiences with me. However, the one person I can pinpoint as the most influential person was my teacher in the second grade at elementary school. She is remembered as the most beautiful person in my memory. I had just transferred from another school, so everything was strange and difficult to me. My teacher showed me interest and affection like a caring mother, sister, or aunt, helping me adjust well to the new school life. As a grown-up, I now have the dream to become a teacher like her. I miss her a lot. I would very much like to see